Mac and cheese on Thanksgiving? What? Hi everyone, my name is Dimitri and welcome back to DimitriTube. Today I am bringing you another installment of Cooking While Quarantined, Thanksgiving edition. Gobble gobble. Now before we dive in and get started, one thing. I'm gonna need y'all to go ahead and pound that like button. I'll wait. Okay, now let's get started. In this video today, I'm gonna be making you guys some baked macaroni and cheese. I don't even eat cheese, but I'm black, so of course I know how to make this dish. And I'll eat a little bit for the video. Now there are tons of ways to make baked macaroni and cheese. I've seen people use different cheeses. I've seen other different ingredients. I've seen different ways to make it. Some people even use eggs in their mac and cheese. Yikes. But in this video today, I'm gonna show you all how I make my macaroni and cheese. Now in black households, you do not mess up the macaroni and cheese. If you are not confident with your skills, do not offer to make it. I'm serious. Do not offer to make it. If you offer to make the macaroni and cheese and you do not make it right, you will be clowned by the entire family and they will never forget. It is 2020 and there are literally people still getting clowned for the nasty mac and cheese they made in 2001. Hello? Oh, hey, Pookie, how are you? What's up? Jarissa's coming. Jarissa's coming to Thanksgiving? The one who made the nasty mac and cheese? Yeah, that's fine, she can come, but she will not be making the mac and cheese. Also, some of you may be like, mac and cheese on Thanksgiving? What? Most black households have mac and cheese on Thanksgiving. I guess other people just have mashed potatoes. If you're not black and you're watching this video, please let me know below in the comments what you have on Thanksgiving, whether it be mac and cheese, mashed potatoes, both, or neither. Now keep in mind, my immediate family is not that big, so on Thanksgiving we never made that much food because it would just go to waste. But when we would go visit my aunt and uncle for Thanksgiving, they would always have a lot of people over and we would have both mac and cheese and mashed potatoes. And when I go, I'm like, oh, this is different. And I don't eat cheese, so it's actually perfect. Now to make baked macaroni and cheese, these are the ingredients you will need. Butter, Monterey Jack cheese, mild cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar cheese, milk, breadcrumbs, noodles. By the way, I realized I was making mac and cheese and I forgot to get noodles from the store. I'm gonna combine 2 boxes of different noodles because I really don't feel like going back to the store. Like, I'm making mac and cheese. How did I forget to get noodles? Sour cream, flour, oil, salt and pepper, a boiling pot, a strainer, a dish to put the macaroni, a small pot, a measuring cup. Okay, I'm ready. Now let's get started. Now for the first step, you're gonna grab a pot and fill it with some water. And you're gonna add some salt to the water and a little bit of oil. Oops. Now that is more oil than you really need. Sorry, I was like filming and trying to add the oil at once. And then you're gonna set the temperature to high. For the noodles, I usually use elbow noodles. I don't have enough in one box, so I'm gonna mix it with Rotini noodles, but you can use elbow noodles, Rotini noodles, and I've seen Penne as well. It just comes down to preference and what you wanna use, but normally I will say I usually see people using elbow noodles. Now I appreciate all of my followers and I'm doing a lot for you all out there. I could not find shredded Monterey Jack cheese, so I had to get a block and I bought a cheese grater and I'm just gonna grate the cheese myself. If you decide to use a cheese grater, be very careful. I was washing the one I just bought and I definitely cut myself. And it was something serious because I had to bust out with the Disney Princess Band-Aids. Okay, I have not used a cheese grater in years. So let's see how this goes. Oh, this is annoying. This is a very good cheese grater. It's very easy to get this to shred. But definitely be careful if you're shredding. Be careful, don't want to slice those fingers. And we have some shredded Monterey Jack. For the noodles, you're just gonna follow the instructions on the box to boil the noodles correctly. And you wanna preheat the oven to 350. The water is boiling vigorously, so I'm gonna go ahead and add the noodles. As the noodles are cooking, you wanna make sure to stir them a few times so they don't stick to the pot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and add the noodles. So for this next step, you're gonna have to multitask a little bit. Once the noodles are halfway done, you're gonna start the cheese sauce. For the cheese sauce, what you're gonna do, you're gonna get a small saucepan and you're gonna add about a capful of oil to the pan. And you're gonna put the saucepan on about like a medium temperature. Then you're gonna grab 1 cup of milk and 1 tablespoon of flour. You're gonna add the tablespoon of flour to the milk, and then I'm gonna use this fork and like stir it while it's in the measuring cup. I'm gonna do that right here, because can y'all see that kind of? Good enough. Oh, I should have gotten the larger measuring cup. So you wanna do this because if you try to stir it while it's in the saucepan, it's gonna come out clumpy, and you do not want it clumpy. Now this should be about good. It looks good to me. And then you're gonna go ahead and add it. And you are also gonna add a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper. That's good. You just need a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper, not a lot. And then once it starts boiling like this, that's when you're gonna go ahead and start adding your cheese. I'm gonna go ahead and add the sharp cheddar cheese. Now you wanna get it to like a sauce type of texture. You may not add enough cheese the first time, and then I'm gonna reduce the temperature to low. You see how it's turning into like a cheese sauce and it's turning yellow? This is like the texture that we want. And you can go ahead and turn off the temperature. You wanna keep the temperature low when you do this cheese sauce part because cheese burns very easily. I'm gonna add a little more cheese to it. Okay, so I went ahead and strained the noodles. Now I'm ready to add it to the dish to get ready for baking. So the first thing you wanna do is grease the pan. You definitely wanna grease the pan. Keep in mind, cheese burns very quickly and also it sticks to Tupperware and cookware like crazy. I'm just using some butter cooking spray. Now it's not Thanksgiving, but if it was, what you wanna do is layer this. So what you're gonna do, the first thing you're gonna do is add some noodles to the pan. Just enough to get that first layer. And then I'm gonna add some cheese sauce and you're gonna stir it up. And you're also gonna add some sour cream. Sour cream is what makes it creamy. So you're gonna add a little bit of sour cream and stir it. Sorry, this is hard to see. You kind of just wanna make sure it gets spread around everywhere to all the mat. That's good. This is just an example. Then you're gonna add cheese on the top. Definitely mix up your cheeses. I'm gonna throw some mild cheddar on there. And basically, so if this was Thanksgiving Day and I was making a bigger pot of this, I would layer the cheese as so. So that would be the first layer. And then you would just repeat until you use all your ingredients. Now this is not Thanksgiving and I'm just cooking for the immediate fam. So I'm just gonna pour the rest of the noodles in and add the cheese and just go from there. Go ahead and get that cheese sauce. So I usually add the cheese sauce like immediately, but I was trying to do this video, so the cheese sauce, like it's kind of cooling, so the texture is changing a little bit, but it's still good. And you're gonna add some more sour cream. And I'll go ahead and add some mild cheddar on top too. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stir this and try not to disturb that like other layer that's below, but it should be fine. Now when you're making mac and cheese, do not be afraid of that cheese. You bought it, use it. Oh, I almost forgot this cheese too. Now you're just gonna even out the top. You kind of just wanna make sure it's like, just smooth it out. And then you're gonna add the rest of the cheese to the top layer. And then just kind of smooth it out. Make sure it's like as evenly distributed as possible. Okay, now we're gonna prepare the topping to go on top of the mac and cheese. Now this part, we're just gonna add a little bit of butter, melt it down, and we're gonna add the Italian breadcrumbs so they can get nice and buttery. I went ahead and added the breadcrumbs. Sorry, I already added it. I forgot to film it, but I used about a ½ cup of breadcrumbs. Oh, it smells so good. So these are what the breadcrumbs look like now. And this is from the pack. Firestorm. And this is from the pack. You see how they browned a little bit? Now we're gonna go ahead and add the panko breadcrumbs to the top. Also, these breadcrumbs smell so good. You know when you have that top layer and it's like a little crunchy, like that brown color on the top? That's what these breadcrumbs do. Now I'm gonna put the macaroni in the oven for about 20 to 30 minutes and just keep an eye on it. Now the mac and cheese is baked and all done. It took about 30 to 40 minutes. I really wasn't timing it, sorry guys. Woo! The Italian breadcrumbs make it smell so good. Like, the kitchen smells amazing right now. Okay, now let's go eat. Okay, now let's eat. I made sure to get some macaroni, but you also want to make sure to get some of the topping because it tastes so good. For a lot of people, that's their like favorite part is the topping. So I know we were gonna eat together, but it looks so good. I went ahead and took 2 bites without y'all. Sorry about it. I want y'all to see this cheese action right now. You see how like gooey that is? Oh yeah. Yeah. This turned out very well. If I was making the Thanksgiving meal, it would definitely bring my family honor. And let me try some of the topping. The topping turned out, the topping turned out really well. And it's like a little bit of crunchy too. Also, making this video stressed me out a little bit because you have to multitask a little bit while making the mac and cheese. And on top of that, I was filming, so it was just a lot to do. I was trying to make sure I did not miss any steps. And am I glistening a little bit? I had the oven on while I was cooking and it was on for a long time. Now that is all I have for you all today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to pound that like button, pound that subscribe button, and ring that notification bell. I know you all are enjoying this free content, so help me out and pound that like button. And I will see you all on the next cooking video. Have a good one. Bye.